Hi everybody, welcome back to Cha Cha Draws. Yes, so I'm still on Princesses in Pants because the idea just stuck with me, and I felt like I needed to explore it some more. So today we are working on a pirate princess. Um, and because this character was wholly my own as opposed to sort of being ganked off of someone else. Sorry, not ganked, inspired by someone else. Um, I felt, I guess, a little bit freer to make up more of a story about her, more of a backstory. So I really feel like my pirate princess is going to be like, we're going to have like a reverse Little Mermaid situation here with her. Like, she lives on the ocean, she sails the seas, like, probably one of her parents was a pirate, and so she became a pirate, like, and they're really feared on the oceans, and that's why she's a pirate princess. And obviously, at this point, I think it's clear that this is not a Disney princess because a Disney princess could never be a real pirate. But, I'm going to go with it. So, anyway, she's a pirate princess, and she lives on the ocean, and then one day, probably like her pirate ship finds a helpless galleon somewhere in the ocean, and then there's a captain of the galleon, and oh, he's so handsome, and she just thinks he's the bee's knees, and she just feels like she needs to know him better, and maybe like have his little law-abiding babies or something. So she leaves her pirate ship, and she goes to the mainland, and she stops wearing her pirate clothes. She starts wearing like proper shore lady clothes, and she spends time with him, and she finds out that there are pretty swell things about the mainland. I mean, like, not many people have scurvy, and also like her captain really is a pretty swell dude. And of course, he doesn't realize that she's a pirate because once you put on a dress, you look completely different and no one can recognize you anymore. So anyway, she does that, and they do honestly fall in love, and they probably have some romantic evening where he takes her out in a boat, but she's hiding that she knows how to sail better than he does the whole time because, that's what she has to do. Otherwise, he'll know she's a pirate. So they go through the whole story, and like, probably there's some girl that his family always thought he would marry, and but he loves her. He loves his little pirate princess, but he doesn't know she's a pirate princess. And so he proposes to her. And then this is where we get definite reverse Little Mermaid, because she says yes, but then the closer it gets to the wedding, the more she realizes that she'll be pretending to be something she isn't her whole life if she marries this guy, because he thinks she's just a typical landlady, and that, she's going to be happy never sailing and staying home and waiting for his ship to come into port. And that's not who she is. So she leaves him a letter because she's not the kind to say goodbye without, letting him know. And then she puts back on her pants and her pirate coat and her hat, and she sneaks away into the night. And she finds the little, I don't know what they're called, the little rowboats that are on the side of the pirate ships. And she rows back out to where she's hidden her ship in a cove off the mainland. And she sails away, and she thinks she's never going to see him again. And, she's sad, but she's back on the ocean, and she knows that's where she belongs. It's the time of year for the voice nastiness. So she goes back out on the ocean, and she knows that's where she belongs, and she thinks she's never going to see him again. And then one day, she spots sails on the horizon, and she doesn't have a lot of heart for attacking it because she kind of got to know the land people, and she's kind of considering, like, maybe she's considering going honest, because, like, it's okay if she doesn't want to be a pirate anymore. She just has to be on the ocean. That's where she belongs. So she's not really pursuing it, but it does seem to be pursuing her. And when it gets close enough, she looks through her scope, and she sees that they're the sails of her captain. And she's like, oh, crap, he's come to arrest me. because like he knows I'm a pirate now and he's chasing me down. And his ship draws close, so she runs away. But like he's sailing really well. And then I don't think he catches her. I think like, she legitimately decides she can't run from him for forever because like she's an awesome captain and like there's no way this dude is outsailing her. So anyway, she finally decides she can't run anymore and she turns her ship around and faces him. And it turns out that he's come after her because he still loves her. The things that he loved about her were not her being, a proper land maiden. He loved the moments when she like let her piratey sailor self break through and the way she laughed when they were on the open water, and the fact that she understands all his nautical terms, and that she at one point like corrected his sail for him and it actually made the boat run smoother. And so he loves her for who she is and he doesn't want her to leave the ocean. And he says that they have to work out the whole pirating thing. And she says, well, maybe they could fix it all by just being privateers. Because, there's nothing like a legal pirate. Sorry, I haven't really worked out the end, how they justify the whole like legality of pirating thing. But anyway, the point is he accepts her for who she is. And then they sail the seas together because that is what, every story should end with. That instead of the Little Mermaid leaving her family and her home and like under the sea where it's clearly better, she goes and lives with some stupid prince in his stupid castle. So yeah, anyway, this is my pirate story of the Pirate Princess and I hope you liked it. So maybe I should talk about my drawing a little bit. So I did forget to record again some of my stuff, but I did better this time, so hopefully you won't be missing too much. I gave her some traditional pirate garb. She's got the high boots and the striped pants. She's got the big old captain's coat and the tricorn hat. I made her hair tossed in the breeze. She's leaning off the edge of the boat, like clearly she's about to board someone. Sorry, imaginary ship that she's about to board, but she is definitely going to take your stuff. Maybe she's like a Robin Hood pirate and she only robs from the wealthy like companies. Yeah, she's a wealthy pirate and she only robs from like the East India Trading Company and their stupid colonial attitude towards the rest of the world, and she takes their stuff and then she like obviously shares it among her pirate crew, but then also like probably she has ports all over the place and she goes and like her entire crew is freed slaves. There we go. I don't know. Oh no, I should have made her black. Okay, so I have an issue when drawing people, which is that I don't want to be appropriative. I myself happen to be white, and I don't want to draw like a ton of characters where they're not my own race, because that feels like I'm crossing over into appropriative territory, or like appropriation being a tricky term. More like whether I'm appropriating or not, I'm sort of cashing in on the popularity of race equality right now. But having just now thought of her entire crew being, freed slaves. Maybe they're all freed female slaves. That'd be amazing. She really should have been darker skinned. Anyway, yeah. Because white savior is a bad look for any pirate princess. So maybe they're just liberated women and they're of all ethnicities. Like that would be better, I think. Yeah, liberated women of all ethnicities. So anyway, I made her hair rough and flowing in the breeze. Yeah, we're just gonna move on from that whole racial concept right there. I made her hair rough and flowing in the breeze. I gave her a richer skin tone because assuming she gets some sun, and then later when I go back in with the shading, I like actively gave her like some roughing on her face, like she's got maybe a tan or even a slight sunburn. I started with pure black for all of her black accessories, but that was too much. Like it hurt my eyes, so I toned it down to this incredibly deep blue, and I like that better. So yeah, I was actually really pleased with how she turned out. There's still a lot of stiffness, I think, in my art. I start with a pose that I like, but things get stiff. like her back leg doesn't look like it's hanging there. It looks like it's placed there. But I assume that's something that will improve with time. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with both my pirate story and how this turned out. I love her hanging off the ship. I love her being her own little personal captain that she's going out there. The background worked for me. I mostly ignored the ship. That's probably not what ships look like, but whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about that. Just focus on the pretty pirate princess. I did write a song for my pirate princess. But you have to wait for the end of the video for that. I felt like I feel like I'm getting a hand on shading and highlighting. Like obviously, I will always need work on it. I think every artist is always going to think that they need work on things, but I do. Every time I do a drawing, I feel like I learned something, and that really makes me happy. I kind of wish I had gone with a brighter red for her coat, but at the same time, I didn't want it to look. I mean, the style is very cartoony, but I didn't want the colors to look like primary cartoon colors. So I don't know. I'm ambivalent about that one. Yeah, I really don't think I went heavy enough with that suntan. I feel like I need to do a better job committing to like darker colors. So yeah, here she is, my pirate princess. Hope you like her. The snap of the sail and the boom of the cannon, the splash of the wave and the salt-scented breeze. My ship is my home and the world is my kingdom, and we'll go wherever the shore meets the sea. And hey-ho, we're sailing the ocean. Hey-ho, waters so deep. Davy Jones waits me below in the fathoms, but today I'm alive on the free rolling seas.